Well, it's officially been 2 months since Tophia has been homeless. And honestly, I'm actually shocked. I thought that this would actually get Tophia to kind of become an adult and start to consider that she should try to at least get a part time job so she can help her brother out. But Tophia has done none of that. Instead of looking to get her situation in a better path, Tophia has not just only continued her bad behaviors and her immature behaviors, but has gotten worse. Honestly, I'm shocked. But with all that being said, why don't we dive on in and see how Tophia has been able to manage these 2 months of living in a car? Well, firstly, let's get back into the Squid Chu drama. If you don't remember, this is the housekeeper that exposed Sophia's family for not being able to pay their rent at the motel, but also their disgusting motel. Well, they had beef for a little bit where essentially Squid Chu ended up calling the police on Tophia's car because they just were, I'm assuming, in front or near the motel, and they were just taking dumps like in front of the car and stuff. And let me play the clip where she explains it all.
So apparently, Tophia wants to call the police on me. Honey, honey, honey. Only one of us is breaking the law right now, and I did call the cops on you, okay? I called the cops and reported a suspicious vehicle because y'all have been sitting there all day and all night, shitting and pissing on the sidewalk like animals. And then I also told them that they need to do a prior welfare check because there's an elderly woman living in the car with them now. So have fun dealing with that, bitch.
Clock it. You waited till we left. Clock it. Snuck in here. Clock it.
Yeah, so pretty shocking stuff coming from Squid Chew. Now, I'm just going to quickly summarize the rest of the beef because it's just a lot of back and forth, and then it just becomes Tophia ranting by herself. And honestly, she still rants about this stuff now. Like, she still talks about Squid Chew, and Squid Chew has just kind of moved on from this situation and does not talk about Tophia anymore. I actually really enjoy Squid Chew's content. I would actually encourage you guys to go check it out. But essentially, what this beef ended up coming to is essentially Tophia acting like a Karen and saying that she was going to get Squid Chu fired, that Squid Chu was going to receive legal action for exposing her family and talking about this, and how she was really upset overall that Squid Chu was making money off of this. And Squid Chu just said, "Listen, I'm going to make money off of this for, and I'm going to run it up until, I can run it up till." But, Squid Chu also knew, like, okay, I got to let go of this shit, pretty sooner or later. And I believe around Thanksgiving, she kind of just stopped talking about Tophia. Tophia still talks about Squid Chew to this day and has like been bringing up the fact that she still wants to sue her and wants to get her fired. By the way, Squid Chew has not gotten fired from her job.
And the only reason why she hasn't lost her job because it's very hard to get a hold of her higher up, right? You can't call corporate. There is no corporate number. And the only way to get a hold of her corporate would be to get a lawyer involved and then make sure she actually gets sued. And then make sure her employer actually fires her, because that's the only way. You can't really contact corporate. Unless there were more people, like supporters of mine.
This girl is delusional.
Now, to give you a little bit of lore about myself, I am someone who has a bachelor's degree in business, and I have studied a lot of business law and employment law. That was my concentration when I was studying. And I did some research and I learned that New Mexico is an at will state, which basically means you can get fired for any reason that a company makes up, aside from something unlawful, aka like, being fired because you're a woman or because of your race or something like that, or sexual orientation. But point being is that if they have already seen this and they really did not fire her already, then she's not going to get fired, okay? And she probably didn't break anything in her employment contract that negated her like not filming or please don't film. So she's going to be fine, okay? And she's filmed other rooms if you watch her other content. So Tophia, Karen Chu, bro, you're not gonna get her fired. And also the defamation stuff. I'm sorry, and I hate being like this, but it's like, girl, you're living in a car. Like, you're not gonna sue anyone. At least when James Charles used to say, "Oh, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you." There was a little bit of like, "Ooh, okay, he might for real though. He might, like, he lives in a multi-million dollar, you know, home. He does have the money and the time to do it." Tophia, you have all the time, but you have none of the money to be suing people. Like, why even bring this up? I just can't with her.
This girl is delusional.
Now, moving along from the Squid Chu drama, now Tophia has been living in a car. Well, we actually found out recently that the family has been living in 3 cars. So each Chu has their own room, essentially. Now, the location of where these cars were being parked was found out, and this has led to them getting like essentially harassed all the time, and people taking picture of Tophia and her family, like, ooh, there was a Tophiachu sighting. Like, oh my goodness, this is starting to feel like Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, 1800s sightings. Like I'm expecting some British person to go, Tophiachu was spotted on the 9th of April, 2025, walking to a Del Taco. You know, like where people are like, Tophiachu sighting, Mama Chu sighting. It's giving those vibes.
Let me tell you something about whoever tried to wake my family up. I was fast asleep and I got sticky notes put on my door. You're a dumbass. You literally got chased down. Do you know the police are going to be looking for you? You showed up to my car harassing me, only to get caught and be chased down.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Now, an event I want to highlight that happened recently to Tophia is that her Xbox Ones and expensive makeup palettes that, by the way, she was buying when when her family and her were living in that motel and not saving up. That's something that Tophia's financial literacy, man, she is like, she will be living in a motel and not think like, I should try to save up every penny that I can. Like, I should be on some Dave Ramsey's type shit. Not that Dave Ramsey's just a good person either, but like, you know, she needs to be like saving, like not spending her money on useless stuff like makeup palettes. She could have been selling those Xbox Ones. Now, I'm assuming maybe they're her brothers, whatever, but you know, they should have been like, hey, let's just pawn these, let's sell all this stuff, because you know, we need as much money we can scrape. Like, if you're not gonna go and work, girl, like at least let's get some money. They end up getting stolen. She's like, I'm gonna call the police and stuff, and she thinks that it's like the trolls. I think, honestly, I don't think it's the trolls. If you've ever like parked your car in a not so nice area, like your car will get ransacked. I've had my car ransacked multiple times in my lifetime, and it's just part of it. It's just part of life. I think that that's what happened. It's unfortunate, but honestly, it just highlights like, why haven't you have sold those things and tried to at least better your situation a bit.
Pissed off. So I scrounged up whatever money I could left, right, to go get pizza because we were at the library. Next thing I know, I come back to the car, right? Nothing doesn't seem out of the ordinary except some stuff thrown out of the car. And then what happened was is that literally stuff was thrown out of the car, right, out of the Jetta. So I don't know if it was thrown out of the Jetta. I thought people threw it there to make it look like we were littering. We came back, so then I decided to go into the car and check because I noticed the clothes were thrown around. I said, okay, cool, let me go check. My 2 Xboxes were stolen. My 2 very expensive makeup kits, which was the Betty Boop makeup kit and the Kiss makeup kit. They also took that too, along with my other valuable shit and my brother's Hot Wheels and parts and all kinds of shit and tools. They took all of that too. But what's crazy and what's the funny thing about it is, like, stupid idiots literally robbed right in front of a camera that's aimed at them. So, yeah.
Oh dear, that's not good.
And quickly going back to Tophiachu sightings, Tophia has been seen a lot at a library in Albuquerque. So I'm assuming that this is some public library in Albuquerque. Now, I thought for a second this was great news. Perhaps Tophia would get on one of the computers and log into Google Docs and create a resume and then go on Indeed and, you know, these other job sites and go ahead and apply to some jobs. No, all Tophia really does is go and sit in this library with her mother, and essentially they spend all day there. She charges her phone, and she does nothing all day there. And I mean, honestly, that's just so Tophia, just to like not use any of the resources. Like, the library would be such a great resource for her to try to find a job, and like, no, she just sits there and does nothing. She charges her phone so then later on she can go live later in the day and go on useless rants. If there is something that is so characteristic of Tophia, is to just go and yap and talk about the most useless things, go on rants about things that have nothing to do with her. Just talk about, recently she's loved to talk about Ashley Trevino and Shawty Bay. And just like, girl, they have nothing to do with you. That does not matter right now. You are freaking homeless. Or she'll talk about whatever is going on in like the political state of the world. You know, like girl, it doesn't matter right now. You have bigger issues, bigger things to worry about. Now, I wanted to quickly highlight some of her useless rants that she's been on these past 2 months. One of the first ones that makes me laugh is this one that she did about Thanksgiving.
I think Thanksgiving should be canceled. I think that as a holiday as a whole, that Thanksgiving shouldn't be celebrated because, you know, like indigenous people. But I also think that, I don't know if this probably makes sense, that companies that are closed during Thanksgiving are kind of condoning what happened to indigenous people. Should we boycott them because they're closed on Thanksgiving? I understand some places close so people can, you know, spend time with their family on Thanksgiving, but I think Thanksgiving, the holiday, should, like,
you have lost your mind. You have lost your mind. You have lost your mind.
I will highlight this one all the time, and it's my favorite because it just shows like really well the type of person that Tophia is. Tophia will always go on these rants about like social justice issues, like especially the ones relating to like Gaza and Israel Palestine, racism, all ethnic issues. Like she'll go on these and then she'll just always do something like go backwards on it. Like if you don't want to celebrate Thanksgiving, you're in all right to do that, but then to just go and they just wish people at Thanksgiving is so freaking funny. Like, girl, you are not serious. You are just never serious, girl. Like, really?
I just have this feeling people hate their job more than they let on. They want me to be stuck in the place of, you can't be more successful than me. If you're more successful than me, I'm going to tear you down. I'm going to bring you down with me. Why should I have to be brought down to people's level? I shouldn't have to settle for a 9-to-5 job. I don't have to. It's just people just don't like other people being more successful than them.
Bitch, are you dumb?
Pardon me?
Are you dumb?
I think she's
I
dumb.
think she's dumb.
I think she's dumb.
I think
Are
you're
you,
dumb.
like medically speaking?
Firstly, I just want to say I really dislike people like this who make it seem like choosing to work a 9 to 5 and enter this quote unquote rat race is like the worst thing ever. Some people don't want to be girl boss, man boss, they them boss. Some people literally just want the stability of working a 9 to 5. As someone who, works a 9 to 5 currently, I enjoy my 9 to 5, and I think that it's the stability and having a stable income is really good, and I think it's something that is really important to talk about. Some people don't want to be sitting TikTok battling people. Some people don't want to rely on something that is unreliable like a social media income. Like, first of all, look at all these TikTokers who just their income is mainly from TikTok battling and the creator program. All those people have to find another way to make money, aka either through YouTube or through live streaming, because TikTok is gone. They're not better than people who are 9 to 5s. Yeah, are they their own boss? Like, yeah, they don't have someone to like look up to, and they're at the will of a corporation, but like they're also not doing so great too, and they're also almost working 24/7 essentially. And yeah, like Tophia wants to act like she's better than, and I love how she does this whole freaking rant being homeless and not being successful. Like you have not successfully done social media. Just because you've earned a few $100s from social media, well, by now she's earned a few thousand. I'll give her that. We'll give her that. But it's like you're talking from this like as if you have made millions of dollars from it. You're sitting in your car homeless with your mother aging poorly in a freaking car. This is not a flex. You shouldn't be the one saying these words.
Of course I know how hard it is, but you take things for granted. You're able to get your nails done and pay $200 for nails. I can't. I can't do skincare. I can't have self-care for myself. I can't take care of myself because I can't afford that stuff. But yeah, when she comes on here, it's never a go get a job for her. But for me it is. But I was literally making money, and I am making money. Like, even if TikTok goes, I monetize on Instagram. I'm pretty sure she's not. And I am going to say, because y'all are dumb, right? I just went in there quickly to see what the heck, because I didn't support, obviously, I mean, by my view, of course. But the fact that Ashley Trevino made 2,000 to 3,000 bands, got almost 500,000 viewers for literally kissing on a 19-year-old is insane to me. That is crazy. Like, I saw someone when I was in there when she was getting her makeup done, drop a whale.
DGAF. I don't give a fuck. Period.
Now, like many people, I am in the school of thought and believe the logic that Tophiachu had a fall so Ashley Trevino could rise. And we see now that TikTok's favorite locale for now is going to be Ashley Trevino. And I think that Tophiachu feels some sort of jealousy that Ashley Trevino has made hell of money from this. Now, I'm going to give you my theory on why Ashley Trevino and a lot more locals have been successful from their trolling, while Tophia has failed. Here's why. I think that Ashley Trevino realizes that people just want to see her content just at the glimpse that she will do something ridiculous or get trolled and she'll do something crazy from it. That's why. Tophia literally doesn't go live enough, doesn't pump out enough content for people to, make fun of and laugh at. Unfortunately, when you're a locale, everything you do is just essentially being made to be laughed at. And that's what it is with Ashley Trevino. Each post, each time she goes live, people are just waiting for a chance to have another thing to roast her about, another weird thing that she does, right? And that's literally what Tophia needs to realize. Tophia, you just need to pump out a lot more content and you need to start allowing people to interact with you more. That's another thing. So, Ashley Trevino goes and duets people when she's TikTok battling, which leads to, these moments where she gets exposed or roasted. Or with Santos, they made that golden moment with the Nunu and Pee Pee stuff. Yes, is it cringy? Yes, it's weird. But why do we watch locals? Because they're interesting to watch. So, Tophia, if you want to actually make some money and you want to actually get things jumping, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go on TikTok Live 24/7 all the freaking time, and you're gonna have to start allowing people to interact with you, so then we can get these viral moments. Like, honestly, after that Caleb guy made that video about her, I would have said, let's go on TikTok Live and talk it out. Hella people would have followed. And like I said, there are people who gift these people. You would have at least made some good money from it, at least. But yeah, I should be a social media manager. And to wrap everything up, let's give some rapid rounds and see what the rest of the Chu family is on. Firstly, Mama Chu. Mama Chu is still around with Tophia. And like I said, it seems like there's 3 cars now, so each Chu gets their own room. It seems that when Squid Chu did call the police, they did offer her adult services, but it seems like she didn't go. And yeah, she's still sitting there with Tophia and sitting in the car. So, yep. Brother Chu. So not much is going on with Mr. Brother Chu. Only thing is he's still working, still the only one working in this family, which must suck. Like they are probably taking his goddamn check, scraping it dry. And he recorded a drone shot of him at a car meet, which is interesting. By the way, this is his car. If you like it, I love it. It looks like a Splatoon car or something, which sounds cool, but doesn't look cool. Anyways, the other thing that's important is that remember that we saw early on in the video that the Chus were getting harassed in the cars. Brother Chu, like he will go and he started chasing after freaking the person who went and was playing around and like throwing or like threw something at the car. I'm not sure. I'll put the clip.
Put sticky notes on the window, which my brother caught them and chased them down and banged on the window while I was sleeping because my mom woke me up and she's like, Tophia, she was like, somebody hit the window or something.
And aside from that, the other family member that we keep tabs on is Papa Chu, aka the Ozark Bank CEO, whatever this freaking thing was called. It seems that he is still in jail, I believe. So his whole thing was while the Chu family was actually getting kicked out of the motel, he got arrested on the same day or around that same time, by the way. Like, you know how they talk about how you can be interlinked, like interlinked, like everybody was just going through it in that family that week, which just is sucks. But what ended up happening earlier this month is that the arrest footage was recorded and you can just see him fat shame the police officers. Aside from like it being funny that he fat shamed them, it does kind of seem like he's going through it. He is definitely struggling through mental health issues, and I don't know. I hope that like they do provide him some better resources. I'm not gonna really go into conversations of mentally ill people and them having to deal with like the corrections and stuff like that, police officers and stuff. I just hope he gets some resources. It obviously seems like he is very mentally ill.
I don't need to get a job. I enjoy my job. I already have. So why do I need to go work a 9 to 5 job when I enjoy what I do? Because I receive packages like this where I can try stuff, you know, like ramen. And I got like a Tupac shirt and I got lip gloss. So why would I want to work when I have amazing supporters who send me awesome gifts?
This girl is delusional.